What is up, YouTube? Hope you guys having a wonderful day. It's been a while. I've been putting that work in. I've been very tired, working consistently 60, 80-hour weeks. So bear with me. I look like a zombie. I've been working like a mule out here. So putting in that work. And I was like, you know what? It's been a while. Let me post a video on this channel, even though I really, I'm not really seeing no type of progress, but you have to feed the algorithm in order to see something. It's just how it works, unfortunately. But let's get right to it. Hope you guys having a wonderful day. I wanted to talk about, some dating advice that I hear a lot whenever it comes to a lot of struggling men, who are very confused and just, don't know why they're not getting nowhere when it comes to this dating game. And just throw it out there, FYI. This is no solution. This is just my theory and what I believe in. And in order to, save yourself, man or woman, but this is really a video towards, women since I'm a man. Just to save yourself some time and effort, just don't even play the game. Focus on what you are progressing in, and everything will multiply. Most importantly, your finances, your mental health, your physical health, and hopefully everything will play out how you want it to be. But as I like to be the guy who likes to accept the truth. Mother Nature does play its course, so understand who you are and what you do, and I'll leave it as that. So let's get right to it. Bro, you need to stop trying, man. You need to be unavailable. You can't be too available to these women because they're gonna assume you're too much of an option to them. When I hear this advice or very similar advice when it comes to dating, I always, like get my brain into a scramble of like what type of person, wants to act like they're unavailable to a person they like, right? It just doesn't make sense to me, if you want a healthy relationship in the beginning. To me, it mind boggles me because, I came from a dysfunctional household, and this is just, spills dysfunction and confusion to me. Kind of makes you want to just give up and don't even want to play the game, like I said before. And it didn't really occur to me until one day I was hanging out with one of my older sisters, and she was telling me about how she met a guy on Tinder. No, it wasn't Tinder. She met a guy at the bar one day, right? And she was telling me like, yeah, he's pretty cute, all this stuff about, what type of men she liked. And she was like, oh man, he texted me. And I'm sitting here thinking, are you gonna text him back? And she's like, oh, I can't do that. I gotta, not be too easily accessible. You know, I guess, she don't want to be walked all over by this dude or assume that she likes him as much as he does like her. And, I got to thinking, I'm like, some I feel like the men who spread this advice, like you can't, uh message somebody early once they message you, or you can't be too available. I feel like the men who spill this advice, right? They are just playing a numbers game. They know deep down it doesn't guarantee anything, even if they wait to message a woman, or they message a woman when they're available. You know what I believe? I believe it's just selling a man hope that eventually this woman will come around, and she'll start texting him fast and start showing more attention. What I believe is that women have got desperate when it came to attention. So they realized that they have plentiful of options of men who are willing to ask them for their numbers, their Instagram, whatever social media they have that, they're willing to give. And it just feeds their ego of all this attention, right? They know that, men only want one thing, and they don't want anything deeper than that. That's what they've been told by other women. And, as time flies, they're just fed all of this attention. They'll eventually, succumb to a few men that they like, even though they don't really know why they like the men. They just kind of like, kind of want to have a little extra fun with these special men that they like. And eventually, you know, if the man has self-respect, he'll realize that he's been reeled into getting played just to feed this woman attention, and he'll give up. Like he'll give up and he won't, like, get mad, or, most men will get mad or crash out, be disrespectful either to her or to the all the women that's coming, towards his way in the next dating game. And it just fuels this cycle of childish games every time they meet a woman or a man. And it's all about fear. If you think about it, it's all stemmed from fear. The fear of being played, the fear of being of getting cheated on, all that stuff. To me, I've been betrayed. I haven't been cheated on, but I would assume it's very similar to getting betrayed by a person you thought liked you or accepted you as who you are as a person. And that feeling is horrible. That feeling makes you want to just like go in a room and just start breaking tables, chairs, windows. Like it's not something you want to give to the next person who don't even deserve it, all because of their gender or the last person that did you wrong. That's something I don't understand from like a lot of human beings, but I guess people are just not, cut out for this world, unfortunately. But here's the thing. In my personal experience, I've realized that I'm either going to have to drop my standards or just accept being single and peaceful and maybe get a pet, just to have a little extra, fun time with myself and my pet. But I mean, who really wants a pet without a family? Or who really wants to be 40, 50 years old single and just do nothing except just have money and watch movies all day? Like, do you really want a life like that? But then again, who wants to come home to a woman that you don't even find attractive and she's just a placeholder? And behind the scenes, you're, thinking about cheating on her with a woman at work just because, this woman who is low value to you, but she, is a placeholder as a loyal woman. So she's going to be loyal no matter what. So you cheat on her. And I've seen this like plenty of times at warehouses and factories, even fast food restaurants or restaurant jobs. I'm not saying men are cheaters. I'm just saying people use people as placeholders, even though they know deep down they don't want to do anything with them except just put them in one place and only keep them in one place. Ask me how I know, because I work a job that I've been in the same position, and there's no way in hell they're gonna put me anywhere where I am, because nobody, either they don't want me to move up, or they want me where I am right now because of the fact that I'm good at my job. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's a dead end job. I can't complain. All I know is that I'm not going to be here forever. And just like, the women who come my way, the women who find me like super attractive I'm not going to waste their time, even though they could be placeholders in my life. But I would be steering them wrong as a man, and that's not who I am as a person. That's why, being unavailable and not, being too available, I don't see a problem in that, but I guess to women's logic, because they want to reel you in for more attention to feed their ego, it just works. Like all these like deceptive strategies. And my guess is that most of these women are going to be sad and miserable when they're in like late 20s and 30s, even 40s. And they ask themselves like, where did all the good men go? Or men don't want to date no more, or all this other like stupid gaslighting, projecting, dark tactics that they use, which I mean, I'm not complaining, I'm just saying it how it is. And I've seen it firsthand because I have older sisters who are literally going through this as we speak. And I want to laugh in their face. I really want to do this, but it just you have too much pity for who they are and what they did to be in the position they are right now. It's kind of like you know that piece of shit person in your family or in your life that ended up becoming homeless, and you see him or her out in the streets begging for money, and he sees you and he thinks that you're a cool person because he knew you were a good hearted person, or my bad, an honest person. So he's going to try to take advantage of you again, but in a more kind, humanly way, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later.